Awesome. Okay, so this is me. I'm not going to read it because I only have 15 seconds. I'm basically going to mess with you before you go home, get you psyched up about Python, and think about where your code is broken. Ready? Okay, so I expect a little bit of call response here. What we're going to do is we're going to go through 3 things. I want to teach you 3 things today. Question 1, what is the answer to this expression? Oh, I got a bunch of different answers. Why is it which? Come on, you guys are Python guys. But why is it true? Right? We have expert Python people in here, and we have intermediate, and we have beginner Python people, and we're just doing expressions, right? How can we have so many different answers? It's because some people come from a C background, and some people come from a Python background, right? So in Python, when we have a setup like this, we really have 3 separate objects, right? And we're calling an operator on each of them. Well, Python expands this in a very particular way, because your tendency is to put the parentheses out of the first 2 and then equate that. But really what it's doing is this, right? It's taking the first 2 and it's taking the second 2 and evaluating those first and then joining it with an and, right? So you get true. The reason for this is because Python has some semantic sugar here where we can do range checking really easily. But this has a side effect of screwing up your equals equivalence expansion over there on the other side. So that's thing 1. Good thing to keep in mind because sometimes you screw it up. Because we had half and half answers on that. All right, here's another one. What's the answer to this and what does this evaluate to? Ready, go. Ooh, interesting. This shouldn't be hard. We're all good at this, right? Okay, here's why. We got 0 on that side and empty list on that side. Because Python does very specific things when it's doing and ors, right? What we have is x and y means return x if bool cast of x is false, else return x, right? Same is true for or. The only thing different is what we're returning. Right, so if you're setting the answer, or you're setting a variable to the answer of a Boolean expression, that's a bad thing, right? All right, so last one. Function, x equals empty list. We're appending 1 to x, and then we print it. What do we get? List containing 1. Fairly easy, right? We're going to get that one right. Awesome. Let's call it again. What happens when we call it again? We get 1, 1, do we? I'm skipping ahead. I'm cheating on the Ignite rules. Okay, so 1, 1. Cool. Is that really what we want? Oh. Let's do it with 2. What do we get? 2, 1, right? This is something we kind of expect, right? Okay, so now I'm going to mess with you. Let's call it one more time. What do we get? Oh, no. There's a lot of answers here. All right, we get 1, 1. Because list is a mutable data type, right? That is set at byte compile time. Whereas what our intuition is when we're writing it is we're kind of thinking, oh, if we don't send anything, I want a default, right? That's the default. Well, you got to be careful though. So here's the fix. What we need to do first is set it to a immutable data type, such as none or an int or a string or something like that. And then use that as a default if they don't pass it. But if they do pass it, we have to use it appropriately, right? So this is true for all the types. So now, if we set this correctly, we get the expected response, right? So that's something to watch out for in your code, because it's really easy to set default arguments, but if you set them just wrong, if you set them to lists or dictionaries or other types like that, you're going to mess up your code. So that's it.